Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a highly specific, vividly imagined blueprint for the future of our planet. We're taking a single, incredibly dense piece of source material, a visionary snapshot of tomorrow, and breaking it down to figure out exactly what it's predicting. We are looking at a world that is completely, fundamentally transformed, structurally, socially, and visually. So, if you love dissecting where humanity is headed and seeing that future mapped out clearly, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
Think about the year 2100 for a second. It serves as the ultimate anchor point for the incredible architectural and social vision we're about to explore. 2100, it's a date that feels simultaneously way out there, yet somehow right around the corner. It represents the absolute dawn of the next century, giving us a highly specific timeline for when these massive leaps in human innovation are expected to finally fully materialize. We aren't talking about a million years in the future here. We are talking about a reality that the grandchildren of today's generation might be navigating every single day.
Now, listen to this exact blueprint from the source. Planet Earth in the year 2100. Giant futuristic cities, AI robots living alongside humans, flying vehicles, holograms everywhere. Cinematic, ultra-realistic 4K. Wow. Every single phrase in there is literally loaded with implications. It's not just a passing thought, It's a highly specific set of instructions for a future world. Over the next few minutes, we're going to extract the core themes from this text to construct a vivid, logical understanding of this synthetic dawn.
Section 1. Welcome to the year 2100, Planet Earth's next chapter. So, we've got our timeline, and now let's look at the physical environment that actually defines this future.
Section 2. Giant futuristic megacities, scaling up the future. Because before we can understand who lives in this world, we really have to understand the sheer, unbelievable scale of their environment.
The foundational setting of 2100 isn't just advanced, it's defined by massive, awe-inspiring urban sprawl. What's fascinating is that the source text doesn't mention nature, and it doesn't mention small, quaint towns. It explicitly anchors planet Earth with giant futuristic cities. This implies a profound shift in how our entire planet is organized. Basically, the center of gravity for human life has completely consolidated into these massive urban centers. We're talking about engineering marvels that would absolutely dwarf the skylines we know today.
If we deconstruct this, there are three distinct layers to how this vision completely reimagines our physical landscape. First, a giant structural scale. This means buildings reaching heights and widths we currently consider literally impossible. They'd likely have to act as self-contained ecosystems. Second, a futuristic design language. This tells us we aren't just looking at, slightly bigger versions of modern skyscrapers. We are looking at entirely new architectural paradigms. And finally, planet-wide urban dominance, which suggests these megacities are the defining physical feature of Earth itself in 2100.
Section 3. Humans and AI coexisting. Life alongside machines. Now, let's zoom in from those giant cities down to the actual inhabitants populating the streets. Because, let's face it, a city is nothing without the society that breathes life into it.
So we have organic humanity on one side and artificial intelligence on the other. And no, we aren't talking about some dystopian Terminator wasteland here. The source material deliberately places these two completely distinct entities right next to each other. We're no longer looking at AI as just a piece of software in a computer or a helpful voice on your phone. The text explicitly uses the word robots, meaning the AI has a real, physical presence. It has form, it occupies physical space, and it operates in the real world exactly as humans do. I mean, just imagine rushing to work and realizing you're stuck walking behind a robot that's casually downloading a software update on the sidewalk.
The absolute linchpin of this entire social structure is the word alongside. It's such a crucial detail. They aren't separated and they aren't at war. The source explicitly places them in a shared, completely integrated existence. It doesn't say robots are locked away in factories, and it definitely doesn't say robots have taken over. Alongside demands a parallel, cooperative existence. It paints this vivid picture of a society where a human and an AI robot might casually walk down the same street, wait for the same public transit, and occupy the exact same physical communities.
Think about how this dynamic actually evolves in practice. Step 1 is our baseline, right? Humanity building and inhabiting these megastructures. Step 2 introduces advanced AI robotics directly into that very same environment. And Step 3 is the ultimate synthesis, living seamlessly alongside one another. Consider for a second what that actually requires. We're talking shared infrastructure, shared social norms, and a total, absolute normalization of synthetic life as a boring, everyday reality.
Section 4, Flying Vehicles and Holograms, Navigating the New Reality. So how do humans and AI actually get around in these megacities, and how do they interact with their surroundings?
We are seeing two massive technological leaps happening at the exact same time here. First off, flying vehicles have completely taken traffic off the ground. Mobility is now fully three-dimensional, which completely frees up the massive, sprawling structures of the city below. Although I've got to say, I imagine flying car traffic jams will be a whole new, terrifying kind of headache. Second, having holograms everywhere means information, advertising, and even art are no longer confined to flat, boring screens. The digital world has completely spilled out into physical space, merging the two into one seamless reality.
Picture yourself actually stepping into this city. You look up, the sky is basically the new street, with transit zooming overhead. You look around, the air is the new screen, with digital holograms literally painting reality. It's an incredibly sensory-rich environment. The ground level is totally transformed because the vehicles are up above you and the empty air around you is actively utilized for interactive 3D displays. The architecture of the city isn't just concrete and steel anymore. It is literally constructed out of light, data, and motion.
Section 5. A cinematic, ultra-realistic vision, the 2100 lens. Now, the author doesn't just tell us what is in this world. They tell us exactly how we are supposed to perceive it.
Cinematic, ultra-realistic, 4K. These three incredibly powerful descriptors demand that we do not view this as some cartoonish, stylized sci-fi fantasy. No, this is a sharply focused, tangible future. When the text sets this very strict visual rule, it's pushing back against abstract interpretations. It wants us to visualize these giant cities, the AI, and the holograms with absolute grounded clarity.
Take 4K, for instance. We naturally associate that term with our absolute highest-end modern digital displays, right? By specifying it here, the text grounds this futuristic vision in a standard of hyper-clarity. It means the light bouncing off the flying vehicles, the gritty textures on the futuristic buildings, and the intricate mechanical designs of the AI robots are all defined down to the microscopic level. Nothing is blurred out. Nothing is vaguely hidden in the shadows.
Then there's the term ultra-realistic. This really bridges the gap between wild imagination and actual reality. It insists that while the concepts, like, living alongside robots, are undeniably futuristic, their execution has to follow the actual rules of physics, light, and material reality. The holograms should look like actual projected light cutting through a real atmosphere. The giant cities should look like they carry actual immense physical weight.
And finally, by explicitly using the word cinematic, the source frames this not just as a dry timeline event, but as a grand, dramatic epic in human history. It implies a massive sense of scale, sweeping musical scores, and profound visual weight. The year 2100 isn't just a random point on a calendar. It is a meticulously directed scene, awe-inspiring and dramatic. It demands that we look at this synthetic dawn with a real sense of wonder and gravity.
Section 6, The Synthetic Dawn, Bringing It All Together. All right, we've thoroughly deconstructed the source text, so let's zoom back out and look at the whole shebang.
When you pull all these threads together, you get this complete, vivid map of Metropolis 2100. We've got a society defined by parallel coexistence with AI. We've got infrastructure freed up by 3D navigable airspace and ubiquitous holographic realities. And it's all wrapped in an ultra-realistic, cinematic 4K aesthetic that makes the whole thing feel totally tangible. This is the complete anatomy of the prompt, a fully realized vision of tomorrow pulled directly from a single, incredibly dense sentence.
So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. We've mapped out exactly what this synthetic dawn looks like, how it functions on a day-to-day basis, and the stunning visual clarity it demands. But understanding the blueprint, that's really just the first step. As we rapidly approach the technological benchmarks we've talked about today, the real question is, are we truly ready to live alongside the future we are actively building? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the future.